Hey guys, it's Annie Margarita Yang back with another video for you today. Today is Friday, January 12th, 2024. And today I want to talk about what if the hiring police catch you lying on your resume. But before I get into that, I want to make sure you guys hear this first. So I'm getting censored through various means of communication. So I would really appreciate it if you add my personal cell phone number 806-544-2929 on Signal. So download the Signal app on your phone because the communication is end-to-end encrypted, and then add my phone number 806-544-2929. Make sure you message me on the app with your full name and where you're from. I'm going to pin a comment below explaining why I'm asking you to do this, so then I don't have to repeat it every time, but I'm gonna say this in every video and pin this in every video as well. Okay, so let's get started. What happens if you're caught lying on your resume? And I'm not talking about like people who deliberately lie. I'm trying to address the feeling of imposter syndrome. Basically, there are some really highly competent, well-educated people, well-experienced, qualified, skilled candidates in their job search, but they struggle with how to get confident in their search. And one of the issues is up here in their brain. They think that if they're not being like fully accurate and honest to the very small detail, that's considered lying on their resume. And I want to give you an example because this happened to me more than once when I was working with people to help them with their resume. One is my sister. So my sister just graduated college last year, and so I was helping out with her resume, and I asked her, so she was volunteering for I think a year at an animal shelter, and she was basically had to like clean the cages and things like that. I asked her, how many cages do you have to clean at the animal shelter? And then for some reason, I was like, you do this at least once a week. How do you not know how many cages there are? She's like, I don't know, because she's like really shy. And then I asked, can you at least just give me an estimate, like a good guess? Just give me a good guess that you can like say with confidence if you're asked this question in the interview. She's like, I guess 18. But then like her fear came up where it was like, wait, but what if I get into the interview and then they ask me, did you really have to clean 18 cages? Did you really do exactly 18? Like this scenario, this hypothetical scenario played out in her head. And then I also asked her like, well, how many animals got adopted at the shelter? Like what's the turnover rate? How many animals came in versus how many went out on a monthly basis? So that will give a future employer an idea of like just exactly how much was the workload. So we're trying to use like numerical, something quantitative, something that can be measured, numbers that can be included in her resume, even for something as simple as, you know, I volunteered at an animal shelter, because numbers will make your resume stand out more and make it look like you've accomplished things rather than you just did your job, right? And then she's like, oh, I don't know, maybe two animals got adopted a month. I was like, you've been there for a year, you know? And she was freaking out. And then I was like, just give me an answer that you can say with confidence. It doesn't have to be exactly two, you know, because it's a fluctuating number, but just give me something that is an average, right? And then again, it came up like, well, what if like, you know, during the interview, they asked me, did you really help get two adopted every single time? And it's just like this fake hypothetical scenario comes up. And she feels like if she's not being fully accurate, she's lying. And this also came up with someone else that I was helping. He was applying for accounting jobs. So he was working in audit in the accounting industry, and he wanted to make a transition into tax instead. It's normal, you know, a lot of people coming out of college with an accounting degree, they start off working in audit and then they move on to other things. But a lot of people, they get their foundation in audit. And so I asked him, how many audits did you do during your time there? Oh, sorry. You guys can pass. So I asked him, how many audits did you do during your time there? And then he was like, I don't know, I think maybe I did 40. But then the question came up, right? He also had the same issue. He was like, what if they discover I didn't do exactly 40? Like, what if I have to give referrals to my ex-employers, and then they find out, they call up my ex-employer to verify and confirm my work there, and then they also ask, did he actually do 40 audits during his time there? And then I was like, what is going on with you guys? Like, you guys have this hypothetical scenario that's never gonna happen, but then like, this is what they get hung up by. Like, this is what makes people lose their confidence, because they feel like if they're not being fully accurate in what they're saying in their resume, down to like the very small detail, then they're considered lying. And guys, that's not the same as lying. You know, that's just saying it's a good guess. It's just like, think of it as just like an estimate. You know, no employer is ever going to be like the hiring police and then really question you. Did you really clean 18 cages? Did you do exactly 40 audits during your time there? I need the cold hard proof. No one is ever going to do that, okay? And like, if you're that person and that's in your mind, I'm telling you right now, that is solely your imposter syndrome talking. That is not the real you. So get over it, okay? Because it's never gonna happen. People who actually outright lie on their resume, they know they're lying. They know for a fact. Like, for example, my cousin called me up. He has an issue. He's looking for a job, and then he told me that he outright lies on his resume all the time. I was like, so even if you genuinely don't have the experience or the certification, you just lie? He's like, yeah, if it's on the job listing and they're asking for it, I just put in my resume that I know how to do it. And then and then he does it with confidence. But the problem with him is that when he does get the job, he doesn't last there very long. He gets fired. They let him go like right away. He's had multiple jobs. He cannot keep a job. And the reason why is because he lies on his resume. And employers find out very quickly after he starts working there that he doesn't actually know what he's doing, and doesn't know what he claims he knows how to do. So that's why he loses his jobs all the time, right? So people who outright know they're lying, they will get caught. All right, don't worry about whether you're being fully accurate in those small little details. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme. Really, when I ask you to put something that can be measured, something numerical, in your resume, it's really just to give your employer some sort of idea of the environment and the context in which you did your work. Like, for example, you know, doing work in a team of 4 people, right? If you write in your resume you worked with like a team of just 4 people, that's different than if you were in a team of 20 people, right? Basically, you're saying you worked with 4 people versus 20. It's really a way to let the employer know how well you work in a team. Do you prefer small teams or larger teams? Like, that's really what the employer is trying to know. They're not really trying to find out and like, you know, be the hiring police and go like, did you really work with exactly 4 people in your team, or you worked with 20? No, that's never gonna happen. So that's it for you guys. I'm here outside. I'm heading into a concert. My piano teacher is performing tonight, so that's why I'm out here, and then the concert starts in 10 minutes, so I gotta go. But I will see you guys next week with another video on how you can succeed in your job search. And then I just wanted to add on, in a previous video, I did talk about how I couldn't withdraw $1,000 from a Chase Bank ATM, and then a couple people commented like, oh, you should pick an amount even smaller, like 300 or 500. So I went back yesterday, and then I picked $500, and lo and behold, $500 came out. But that's crazy. That is crazy, because that's the first time out of all the different ATMs that I went to that just said like the message that I told you guys, and then I can only withdraw $500. Like that's the first time that's ever happened to me. And I'm just so shocked and surprised because it's Chase Bank. It's like literally the largest bank in the United States in terms of asset size. And then, yeah, like it's the largest bank. And you would think, well, maybe that explains it. Maybe one of the reasons why they have the largest asset size is because of the fact that they make it difficult for people to withdraw their money. So, or so inconvenient that people just basically keep their money at their bank. And then another story to share with you is yesterday someone I spoke to in person and told the same like Chase Bank ATM withdrawal story too, told me that he has multiple LLCs, you know, because of the real estate investing. So every time you invest in a new real estate property, you form a new LLC to limit your liability. And he has so many LLCs in the past that he's dissolved because he no longer owns the property. And he told me that just in the last week he got like a whole stack of letters, envelopes, one for each entity, even the dissolved ones, from Chase Bank, asking like, oh hey, would you like to open a Chase checking account with us? We'll give you free this, free that. Basically just trying to make the offer as attractive as possible to get his business and move all the money over to Chase Bank, because basically all of the banks right now are scrambling for deposits. They want your money. So the stack of the letters, I'm holding my phone right now, so I can only hold it with one hand, but I guess like the stack of the letters he was telling me was like from here to here because of how many entities he had. Like Chase Bank literally mass mailed it to literally every entity that they could find and scrape, whatever. Anyway, that's it for you guys today regarding banks, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, remember to add my phone number 806-544-2929 and text me. All right, bye.